Very good morning to one and all. Hope you are all following the classes properly and making a serious notes of it. So here we discussed regarding heating effects of electric current in the last class. When an electric current is passing through a conductor, some amount of heat energy will be generated so that the temperature of the conductor will rise, which is defined as heating effects of electric current. Of course, this is all because of resistance of the conductor. Due to the resistance of the conductor, the electrons participate in collisions so that a part of electrical energy will be converted into heat energy. And even we have discussed what are the different electrical appliances that works on the principle of heating effects of electric current. Here, in the last class, we have discussed that the amount of heat energy generated in a current carrying conductor Q equal to I square RT. Here is the formula for calculating the amount of heat energy generated in a conductor. I is the electric current in amperes, R is resistance of the conductor in ohm, T is the time interval for which current passing through the conductor in seconds, then the amount of heat energy we get in terms of joule. This is a basic mathematical formula for calculating heat energy. Of course, so that we have finalized that the amount of heat energy produced in a current carrying conductor will be directly proportional to square of the current flow, will be directly proportional to resistance of the conductor, and will be directly proportional to the time for which current flowing through the conductor under some terms and conditions which we were discussing in the last class. Now here, in this particular class, we are going to introduce another physical quantity here in current electricity, which is electric power. Electric power or electrical power, however it is represented by P. This is another physical quantity that we are going to introduce here and which is having a very important role in the concepts of current electricity. So first of all, what is electric power? And why do we talk about this concept of power? See here, while dealing with the concept of electric power, it will be defined in a different way for the source of electric current and for the appliance of electric current. For example, you take a cell, you take a battery, these are all the sources of electric current. If you have taken an electric bulb, if you have taken an electric iron box, if you have taken an electric cooker, water heater, they are all the electrical appliances which consumes electrical energy. But a cell or a battery is the source of electric current which will produce electric current, which will produce electrical energy and doing some work known as electrical work done. So that is the reason why the power of a source, if I am going to talk about the electric power of a source, if I am going to talk about that, the power of an electric source, the power of a current source can be expressed as the amount of electrical work done per unit time. The amount of electrical work done by the cell or battery per unit time. Per unit time means in 1 second. How much electrical work is being done by the cell or battery per unit time is defined as its power. But if I am going to explain the power of an electric bulb, the power of an electric cooker, then that is different. Because while talking about an electrical appliance, the electrical appliance will consume its electrical energy. So while talking about the power of an electrical appliance, we have to discuss that the amount of electrical energy consumed per unit time will be its power. So assessment of power is different from a source to an electrical appliance. For example, if you wish to assess a teacher, in what way the better manner teacher can explain to to understand the concepts. But if I wish to assess a student, I don't assess in what way he can explain in an understanding way. I assess in what way he can reproduce the things in the exam on listening to the teacher's class. So assessment of a teacher is different from assessment of a student. Similarly, the power of an electric source explanation is different from the power of an electrical appliance. An electric source will produce electrical energy on doing work, which is known as electrical work done. That's the reason why the power of a source of electric current is defined as the amount of electrical work done per unit time. Hope you are writing the running notes. When W is the electrical work done in the time interval of t seconds, then W by T will give the amount of electrical work done per unit time, which is electric power of the source. But if I wish to talk about the power of an electric bulb, power of an iron box, power of electric motor, electric iron box, electrical heater, they are all the consumers of electrical energy. We call them as electrical appliances. So if I wish to assess an electric motor, if I wish to assess an electric bulb, then to what extent they can consume the input electrical energy. I am providing electrical energy, but in what better way they can consume the electrical energy. I am teaching to you in what better way you are receiving my class and at what speed you are able to receive my class, how fast you can understand my class, and in what better way you can reproduce in the exam. They all explains the assessment of a student. So the power of electrical appliance is explaining the amount of electrical energy consumed by the appliance in 1 second per unit time. That is power of an electrical appliance. So there is only difference here, electrical work done, here electrical energy. Of course, you know that whatever the electrical work done by the cell or battery will be the electrical energy. Because cell or battery is doing work to keep the electrons in motion to produce the current so that to generate electrical energy, converting chemical energy to electrical energy. But this entire electrical energy given by the cell or battery may not be utilized by the electrical appliance to 100%. Some extent it can utilize. It depends on its power. So if I am going to give 100 joules of electrical energy using a cell or battery, but whether the bulb is able to consume the entire electrical energy or not, it depends on its power. And how long it takes to consume that electrical energy again depends on its power. So this is all about electric power. So the power of an electric source, the power of a source of electric current is defined as the amount of electrical work done per unit time. If you wish to define the power of an electrical appliance, it explains the ability of an electrical appliance to consume the electrical energy, which is conventionally electric power of an appliance is defined as the amount of electrical energy consumed by the appliance per unit time. Whenever we are explaining per unit time, then we come across a word rate. It's a usual word, but we use in Telugu rate of tomatoes, rate of potatoes, rate of onions. We use it to ask usually. Here, there it means the cost of tomatoes per kg. The cost of potatoes per kg indicates rate of potatoes, rate of tomatoes. But here, rate is not explaining the cost. Here, it is rate of, it is not the rate of tomatoes, it is not the rate of potatoes. It is the rate of electrical energy. It is the rate of electrical energy consumed or the rate of electrical work done. because the rate itself per unit, but it is not per kg, it's per unit time. It is not per kg, it's not per volume, it is per unit time. So the rate of electrical work done means amount of work done per unit time. The rate of electrical energy consumed means electrical energy consumed per unit time is defined as electric power. Usually in our books you will come across mostly the power of electrical appliance, but not about this, but you have to learn that also. So I'm concluding. So what is our topic? Electric power. The electric power of an appliance will explain the ability of the electrical appliance to consume the given electrical energy. And the electric power is measured as the amount of electrical energy consumed per unit time. So that P is equal to E by T. P for electric power of the appliance, E for electrical energy consumed, T for time interval. In the time interval of T seconds, if it consumes E joules of electrical energy, then E by T will give energy consumed in 1 second, which is electric power. After defining this physical quantity, usually definition formula, then we have to come across its units. So here you know that electric power is equal to electrical energy consumed per unit time, E by T. You know very well. Here it is in CGS system, energy will be measured in erg and time will be measured in second. Erg per second is the CGS unit. This is the CGS unit, erg per second. And when it comes to MKS unit, it is joule per second. Because energy will be measured in joule, time will be in second. And in SI system of units, the joule per second is defined as watt, W-A-T-T watt, short form is capital W, full form small letters. So the units of electric power, erg per second, joule per second, watt. Of course, joule per second is nothing but watt. What you need to understand here. Joule per second is nothing but watt. It means if an electrical appliance is able to consume 1 joule of electrical energy in 1 second, then we can say its power is 1 watt. Hope you got my point. How can you define 1 watt power? Means if an electrical appliance is able to consume 1 joule of electrical energy in 1 second, then its power is 1 watt. Coming to cell or battery, if a cell has done 1 joule of work done in 1 second, then its electric power is 1 watt. This is how there will be basic units for electric power. But apart from these basic units, there will be some practical units. For example, horsepower HP. 1 horsepower equal to 746 watts. Horsepower is another practical unit for the electric power, to measure electric power. They are all conventional units, this is another practical unit. Like the conventional units to measure the mass, either grams or kilograms. But you know very well 100 kilograms can be measured as 1 quinton. You know that. So like that, it's a practical unit. 1 horsepower equal to 746 watt. And at the same time, 1 kilowatt equal to 1000 watt. And of course, 1 kilowatt can be also written as 1.34 horsepower. So these are the different mathematical points that you need to remember while dealing with the concept of electric power. And here there is an additional point. As the electric power of an appliance is the amount of electrical energy consumed per unit time, then if you wish to measure the amount of electrical energy consumed is equal to, if I wish to measure what amount of energy is consumed by the electrical appliance in the given interval of time, then E equal to P into T, power into time. To measure the amount of electrical energy consumed by the electrical appliance, the formula is power into time, where P is the power of electrical appliance. T is the time interval for which the appliance consumes the electrical energy. E is equal to P into T. Coming to units, electric power will be measured in terms of watt and the time will be measured in terms of second. So watt second. Electrical energy consumed, E is equal to P into T. But usually, if I am going to measure the amount of electrical energy that I consumed at my household appliances, like a bulb, like a refrigerator, like a fan, they are all the household electrical appliances which consumes electrical energy. If I wish to measure such electrical energy consumed by household appliances, I don't use them for seconds. I use them for hours, I use them for days, I use them for weeks, I use them for months. So that is the reason why, while calculating electrical energy consumed by household appliances, usually which will be used for hours and days, that is the reason why here electrical energy will be measured in terms of watt hour, WH, watt hour. Power is measured in terms of watt, time will be substituted in terms of hours, not in seconds. The reason I told you, you can substitute in seconds if you want. But usually we use the electrical appliances for longer time at a household, so that electrical energy will be measured in terms of watt hour. Electric power is in watt, T is in hour. If you are going to divide this watt hour value by 1000, you will get your answer in terms of kilowatt hour. Power substituted in watts, time substituted in hours, then electrical energy unit is watt hour. If you are going to divide it by 1000, then it will be converted into kilowatt hour, KWH, kilowatt hour. Why I am telling all these things? It is our household consumption of electrical energy will be measured in kilowatt hours, where 1 kilowatt hour equal to 1 unit of electrical energy consumption. This is a measure of consumption of electrical energy for household appliances. Based on that only, we use it to get the bill for electrical energy consumption. 20 units, 30 units bill. This month reading is 150 units. Last month reading is 100 units. Means 1 unit means you have consumed 1 kilowatt hour of electrical energy. This is the way to measure household consumption of electrical energy. So in the usual language, we use it to say you have consumed this month 100 units. Last month we have paid the bill for 200 units. It means 1 unit of electrical energy consumption says that you have consumed 1 kilowatt hour of electrical energy. Remember, kilowatt hour is the unit of measuring electrical energy, whose formula is power into time. Where power will be substituted in watt, time will be substituted in hours. Then I use it to get in watt hour. If I go for divided by 1000, then I will get in terms of kilowatt hour. So this is a little more explanation regarding the concept of electrical energy consumption. So what you have to learn from this board? What is meant by electric power, and how can I measure the electric power of an electrical appliance, and what are the different units of electric power, and later how to measure the amount of electrical energy consumed by the electrical appliance. Of course, based on this we have few. So you have learned till now about the concepts of electric power and electrical energy consumed by the appliances. There are certain numerical application parts to be discussed on these concepts, so that you get more clarity on the concepts of electric power and electrical energy consumed. But to understand all that numerical application part, there is a little more information that you need to learn. Here, if you are going to consider any electrical appliance, we talk about rate of electrical appliance. Don't think that, as I said, rate of electrical appliance, don't think that it's a cost. Don't think like that. Rate of electrical appliance will indicate the electric power of the appliance at a particular given voltage. Tell me here, let me tell you with an example. For example, the rate of electric bulb, is 60 watt at 100 volt. See how I am going to read. 60 watt at 100 volt. There is a hyphen I have written, but while reading it should be read as 60 watt at 100 volt. It means that if the particular electric bulb is given to the voltage of 100 volt, if the potential difference across the particular electric bulb is 100 volt, then it will consume 60 watts of electric power. Have you seen my terminology? It will consume 60 watts of electric power. Sir, what's the electrical energy consumed? Okay. You are telling electric power consumed? Yes. Electric power nothing but energy consumed per second. So it consumes 60 watts of electric power. It means it consumes 60 joules of electrical energy per second. Because the energy consumed per second is defined as power. So 60 watt of electric power it consumes. It means 60 joules of electrical energy consumed per second. So this is the meaning of rate of an electrical appliance. You take any electrical appliance like a refrigerator, like AC, like a washing machine, like a water heater, you take any electrical appliance, iron box. If you have the pack of that electrical appliance, just once you go and see on that, you can find the rate of electrical appliance. So which is 60 watt at 100 volt. Shall I repeat? At the potential difference of 100 volt. If the potential difference across the bulb is 100 volt, it will consume 60 watt of electric power. Immediately you may get doubt. Sir, if the potential difference across the bulb is not 100 volt, it is some 20 volt, then it consumes power which is less than 60 watt. Which is less than 60 watt. This is the maximum potential difference at which it can consume the maximum power. If potential difference across the particular bulb is 20 volt only, then it will consume less power. See, there will be a misconception. When I have told you like this, rate of electric bulb is 60 watt at 100 volt, you may think that, oh, the potential difference across the bulb should be always 100 volt. No. The potential difference across the bulb might be 20 volt, might be 30 volt, might be 70 volt as per the electric circuit given. At that potential differences, it will consume different electric power. But this indicates a standard point that if the potential difference across the bulb is 100 volt, it will consume 60 watts of electric power. So if it is 20 volt only, it will consume different electric power. So how to calculate? Wait, I'll explain. So this is all about rate of electrical appliance. Immediately something is running in your mind. Sir, if the potential difference across the bulb is 100 volts, it consumes 60 watt of electric power. Okay. If the potential difference across the bulb is 50 volt, will it consume 30 watt? Not compulsory. That depends on the electric circuit given to you. So we have to go through some numericals which will give you more clarity on that. We will discuss later. Next question, something is running in your mind. Sir, if the potential difference across the bulb is 200 volts, If the potential difference across the bulb is 200 volt in the electric circuit, then I told you the rate of electrical appliance will explain the maximum voltage at which it can consume the maximum power. I repeat, rate of electrical appliance will explain the maximum voltage at which it consumes maximum electric power. Means, if the potential difference across the bulb is more than that voltage, then your bulb will damage. Your appliance will damage. It can be less than that voltage, but it should not exceed the particular voltage. That is the reason why this voltage is called rated voltage and this is called rated power. Practically, the potential difference across the bulb can be different from this. The electric power consumed by the appliance can be different from this. But as I said, the rate of electrical appliance is 60 watt at 100 volts. This is the maximum potential difference that you can apply across the bulb, not more than that. And this is the maximum power that can be consumed. This is very, very important. So this is called rated power, this is called rated voltage. Hope you got a clarity of rate of electrical appliance. For example, if the rate of a fan is 100 watt at 200 volts, it means that its rated voltage is 200 volts. So the potential difference across the fan should not exceed 200 volts and the maximum power it can consume is 100 watt. So here a little more mathematics. You know very well, electric power P equal to the rate of electrical work done per unit time or the rate of electrical energy consumed per unit time, where work and energy are equivalent, you know that. This implies that, you know, electrical work done W equal to V into I into T. By, sorry, 1 minute, let me write one more step. W is equal to V into Q. Of course, Q is equal to I into T. I have written an additional step, that's it. Now this T gets cancelled. So that electric power P is equal to V into I. Means, if you have an electrical appliance or if you have a conductor, there is a conductor through which current is passing from high potential to low potential, current is traveling through the conductor. If the potential difference across the conductor is V and there is a current I passing through the conductor, then electric power consumed by this conductor E, your electrical appliance also must be a conductor. This can be an electric iron box, this can be electric heater, this can be a refrigerator, which is maintained at certain voltage and passing a current I. Then electric power consumed by that appliance will be V into I. So if any electrical appliance, if any resistor, if any conductor, because conductor has some resistance, a conductor is also treated as a resistor. You have learned all these basics. So if there is certain potential difference across the conductor is V, carrying a current I, then electric power consumed P equal to V into I. At the same time, you know very well, V equal to IR. IR into I will give I square R. So this is another formula for electric power P equal to I square into R. And the next thing it is, you can replace I as V by R. I equal to V by R, Ohm's law. So that power also can be written as V square by R. So we have three different equations for power. P is equal to V into I, or I square R, or V square by R. These are all the different formula for calculating the electric power, where V is the potential difference across the appliance, I is current passing through that appliance, R is the resistance of that appliance. Then electric power consumed P is equal to V into I. And here very important thing that you note down, till now I am telling that point only, this rated power need not to be same as consumed power. This is consumed power. How to calculate consumed power? As per the formula, P is equal to V into I, or P equal to I square R. This is consumed power, which depends on the potential difference across that appliance, which depends on current passing through that appliance, which depends on resistance of that appliance. But rated power is fixed. So rated voltage is fixed. So don't think that this rated power should be same as the consumed power. Need not to be. Don't think that this potential difference across appliance should be same as this rated voltage. Need not to be. Rated voltage can be different from the applied voltage in the electric circuit. Rated power can be different from the consumed power. But only one thing, if the potential difference across the particular appliance is more than this rated voltage, then more current will pass through electrical appliance, so that more heat energy will be produced and our electrical appliance will get damaged. Because V proportional to I, you know Ohm's law, V proportional to I. So if you are maintaining a particular voltage across the appliance which is more than the rated voltage, then more current will pass through it. You know Q proportional to I square. So more heat energy will be generated due to more consumption of power, so that your electrical appliance will get damaged. So I am concluding here. An electrical appliance will get damaged when the potential difference across the appliance in the electric circuit is more than its rated voltage. Why? When the potential difference across the appliance is more than the rated voltage, then more current will pass through it. Then it will get damaged. That is the reason why from this rated electrical appliance even you can calculate what maximum current that we can allow through the electrical appliance. If P is the rated power, V is the rated voltage. See here, this is P rated power, this is V rated voltage, which can be mentioned as the rate of electrical appliance, 60 watt at 100 volt. This is called rated power, this is called rated voltage. Then the maximum safe current through that electrical appliance I equal to P by V, because you know P equal to V into I, you know. Of course, this is for consumer power. At the same time, you can apply for rated power also. If P is the rated power, V is the rated voltage, then I is the maximum safe current that can be allowed to travel through the bulb. So that I maximum equal to P by V, P for rated power, V for rated voltage. Concept is same, but the terminology varies. While I am calculating consumed electric power, then V for potential difference across the appliance, I for current passing through that appliance, then I will get an electric power consumed. If P for rated power, V for rated voltage, then I for the maximum safe current that can travel through this electrical appliance. That's what I am telling. If the applied potential difference across the appliance is more than this rated voltage, then the current passing through that appliance will be more than the maximum safe current. This is called maximum safe current that can be allowed through an electrical appliance. How can you calculate that maximum safe current? I is equal to P by V. P for rated power, V for rated voltage. Don't forget. and at the same time you can calculate resistance of the electric bulb using this concept of rate of electrical appliance. If you know rate of an electrical appliance, the maximum safe current I is equal to P by V. P for rated power, V for rated voltage. Don't forget the terminology. Similarly, you can calculate resistance from the formula P is equal to V square by R. If P is the rated power, V is the rated voltage, R will be its resistance. So that R equal to V square by P, provided V for rated voltage, P for rated power. So this is all about the concept of rate of an electrical appliance. So what you have to learn from this class? Yes, first point, what is meant by rate of electrical appliance? The rate of electrical appliance gives information about the maximum voltage that can be applied across the electrical appliance where it consumes the maximum power. If the potential difference across the appliance is more than this rated voltage, then more current will be drawn through this electrical appliance, which is more than maximum safe current, then our electrical appliance will get a damage. So from the rate of electrical appliance, if you know rate of electrical appliance, which is a rated power and a rated voltage, you can calculate a maximum safe current I equal to P by V, P for rated power, V for rated voltage. And the resistance of the electrical appliance is V square by P. V square by P, V for rated voltage, P for rated power, which will be mentioned as a rate of electrical appliance. Later, if you wish to measure the consumed electric power, what is the electric power consumed by your electrical appliance? For that you should know what is potential difference across the appliance in the electric circuit. You should know that. This is rated voltage. Need not to be same as potential difference in the electric circuit. So take the potential difference across your appliance in the electric circuit. Note down the current passing through the electrical appliance in the electric circuit. Then power consumed P equal to V into I or I square into R or V square by R. These are all the formula for consumed powers at a given voltage at a given current. If you wish to measure the maximum safe current and resistance, you need to apply the rated terms, rated voltage and the rated power. So this is all a brief explanation on the concepts of rate of electrical appliance and the related terminology. Of course, remember, once again I am going to highlight the point, you have to go through few numerical questions. I have nearly 5 to 6 numerical examples to explain in the class here itself, so that you will get more clarity on these concepts of electric power and electrical energy, I am sure. But remember, without having this basic knowledge, if you wish to try the numericals and to understand in a better manner, not possible. You should have this minimum basic knowledge. With this basic knowledge, you try to understand the concept of numericals, then 100% you will get clarity on this concept. Hope you have got it. So go through the class properly and make a notes of it. We'll get back in the next class. Bye-bye.